Hi there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and in this video I'm going to show you some swaps I'm making for a meeting tonight. I have a demonstrator meeting and we always swap, and as I was making my swaps I thought I'd share them with you. So we're going to see some product here on a sneak peek, that's why my video is called the sneak peek swap, that are in this brand new Stampin' Up! Catalog. Now this catalog doesn't go live until May. Demonstrators will have a list of supplies in here that you can order previous, so it'll start in April. We can start ordering from there in April. So if you're a demonstrator, watch for that list and that date. I believe it's April 2nd. You can see this catalog online. I promise Stampin' Up! That I won't show the inside of the catalog, so all you get to see is the front. Now, if you don't have a demonstrator that sends you a catalog and you want a catalog, be sure and let me know before the end of March, and I will send you out the new catalog. Okay, so our fearless leader of the meeting tonight sent us out a card sketch or a card layout. I don't know where it came from. It says Stamp with Diane, but this is what she sent me. So like a good little demonstrator, this is what my card's gonna look like. And I tried to follow the measurements as best I could. Okay, so let me show you the card. It looks like this. I think it turned out really pretty. I was really happy. And let me tell you some of the products that I used first of all. So I have a card base here that is Peacock. It's your normal 8.5 by 5.5 scored here at 4 1/4. Let's just fold that in half so it takes up less room on my desk here. A quick fold right there. Okay, we have our card base. And then I have some of this designer series paper that is never can remember the name of this stuff. Beautiful floral. It looks like this. It has those pretty, there we go, florals on the other side, and then a kind of a pattern, a basic pattern, maybe a water wash on the other side. But it coordinates, the designer series paper coordinates with this translucent florals. And the designer series paper is only available online. You won't find it in the current catalog. And the translucent floral also has a die set that goes with it. And believe it or not, this is carrying forward. This would be in the new catalog too. So I was excited about that because I do love that stamp set with the dies. Anyway, so when I was doing my swaps, I already put together, this is the piece of designer series paper and a layer of pretty peacock, and then I tied some of that silver edge ribbon around there. Now, if you want the measurements and the supply list, you can go to my blog. The link will be below, and you can see all the measurements there. However, since I'm using some product that really doesn't exist yet, you'll have to wait. I won't have those products, so it won't be a full list, but at least it'll be all the measurements. So if you want to make the card, you can make the card. Okay, so that I have already done. I did it before I realized I was going to make the video, and I didn't have any more. So then I have a piece of basic white. This is going to be the inside, just 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a little layer here of some more peacock and basic white. I can't remember the measurements. Let's see if it says on here if I can guess which ones they are. I think this is the 2 3/8. No, I think it's the 2 1/2 by 2 7/8 and 2 3 by 2 3/4. I don't know. I'll have the correct measurements on my blog, but we're going to layer those with Stamp on Layer, and they're there too. Okay, so let's just start real quick by putting our designer series paper on our card base, and then I won't have to worry about that anymore. And keeping track of it, because you know how I set stuff aside and then can't find it. But I do love the pretty colors in here. So we're going to use a little bit of Melon Mambo ink. We're going to use a little bit of pretty peacock ink. And then we're going to use a new ink that's coming up in the new catalog called Beige. And I think it's a beautiful color. It's going to be really good for some watercoloring techniques that I want to show you. All kinds of stuff that I want to do with that. Okay, since we have this already done, let's go ahead and add that. I want to scooch that over so my knot is over here on the right hand side. And then I want some really strong adhesive, so I'm going to use my Seal Plus and put that on. And I'm going to put it about the center, maybe a little below center. Try to get it centered, or I mean straight, centered, straight, all that fancy stuff on my card. And I think maybe a little lower. Maybe there. Does it look straight? Yeah, it looks good enough. Oh, look. I want my knot over here. I got to turn it over. Try again. Okay. There we go. Now my knot is on the left side, right side where I want it. Okay, now we have it pretty straight, good enough, right? Okay, so let's do some stamping. This is where I'm excited to show you a new stamp set, really a new bundle that I got at Onstage, which is just a demonstrator event to keep you up to date and give you some more exciting stuff to look at. It looks like this. It's called Spotlight on Nature. It's really pretty. I love the butterfly, the flowers, the whole shebang. But then the coordinating dies that go with it are circles. And look at these circles. There's 2 sets of circles. Now here's one I cut because we're going to need this little thing right here. And then this goes in here. But can you see all those designs, the different designs that are in those circles? And they have, like I said, 2 sets of them. So that is part of the bundle that will be available May, not until May. This isn't on the pre-order. Okay, so there we have that. And then I cut another circle out of our stylish dies, stylish shape dies. Thank goodness these are going forward in the new catalog because we'd hate to live without these. And that second to smallest circle fits just perfect inside there and has that pretty stitching around it. So I have that cut. Whoops, get it in there. Okay, and then I'm going to use out of this Garden Meadows die set. Now, I love this, or no, sorry, stamp set. I'm going to use this Hello right here to stamp on that with some pretty peacock. And this is another stamp set that's an online exclusive. You'll only find it at the online store, not in a catalog. But I have that already here on a block, and I'm going to take that pretty peacock ink. Now, I've just re-inked my ink pad, so he's pretty happy. I'm going to tap here and then set it down, making sure that my L, the top of my L and the bottom of my H fit in that circle because it's kind of a tight fit, and set that down and let that ink sink in. Now I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I'm just letting the ink sink in and do its job. And looky there, cute little circle for our layers. Let's go ahead and do the inside of our card since we have our pretty peacock out there. And I'm going to take this giant leaf right here, ink it up really good in that peacock, and then set that down right here in the corner. Again, don't need a lot of pressure because I have a lot of ink on my ink pad, and then I can just let it down, let that ink sink in the paper and do its job, and look how pretty that is. Like I said, I absolutely love this stamp set. I think it's beautiful. We're done with the peacock now. Now, since our cardstock has Melon Mumbo and Berry Burst in there, I think the Berry Burst was going to be a little bit too dark, so I went with the Melon Mumbo. And I'm going to take that color and that really pretty butterfly here in the stamp set, and I'm going to just, because I wanted him somewhere on the card, he didn't fit on the front, and yet I think he's so pretty that I'm going to stamp him right there. And again, let that ink sink in. I had just re-inked my ink pad, so look how pretty that is. Okay, now since we have all that done, let's just go ahead and put some, where do I set that? There's no room. Put some adhesive on the back and lay that on the inside of our card. And just like that, we're coming along nicely. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and work on the front then. Bring in that piece of basic white, and I'm going to bring in a scratch paper here, and I'm going to ink up that big flower image, this one that looks like this, in Memento black ink. Now, if you're thinking, hey, Kathy, Memento black ink doesn't come in an ink pad like that, you're absolutely right. It usually comes in a felt ink pad. I like the foam ink pad, so I took a Craft White ink pad that comes, the Craft White ink pad come with a plain, blank, empty, I guess you'd call it, stamp pad with a refill. So I took that empty stamp pad, and instead of putting the white craft ink in there, I put some Memento ink in there, and now I have a felt Memento and a little bit bigger ink pad. I'm going to ink up my flowers here, and then making sure all 3 of my flowers fit in there. So I'm going to kind of hover around, maybe get my head in the camera, but there, I think, hard to see that white on white, but I'm going to set that down. Again, I have a really happy inked up ink pad, so I don't have to worry about too much pressure. And then looky there, we have a really pretty flower on our white paper. Okay, try to get that off of there. Let that ink dry for just a second. While I'm letting that ink dry, I'm going to do just a little bit of other things. I'm going to layer this here. And look how nice that circle fits in that other circle. There's all kinds of little bits and pieces. Let's get those out. There, do I have them all? Yeah, now I have them all. Get rid of those. We'll just throw them on the floor. Don't tell anybody. Okay, now let's color this. I'm going to bring in that scratch paper again. Where did I put it? Oh, here's another one. Here it is, over here. Because I'm going to color these with my Stampin' Blends. Now, like I said, the Melon Mumbo is a color in the Designer Series paper. And it was either Lemon Lime Twist or Parakeet Party. I can't remember. I have Parakeet Party Stampin' Blends, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to color first of those leaves, and I'm going to use the bullet tip. I believe this is light. That's not what I want. I'm going to start with the dark, and I'm going to just color lightly those stems. And I have to tell you, today is not, you have color stamp days that are bad. Today are my color days. You know, coloring is not my favorite stamping technique. In fact, I don't like to color at all. I would rather fussy cut if I had the choice. But I don't have the choice. I need to color some stems here, and I'm going to just do the best I can with my Stampin' Blends here. And like I said, that was the dark. Now, I think that Stampin' Blends come in light and dark, but really they have more colors than that, because sometimes the bullet tip is even lighter than the paintbrush tip. So you might actually get 4, and in this case, my bullet tip was too light. I want a little bit darker, so I'm going to use that paintbrush tip. Now I'm going to just color my leaves here. And then, this one too, I think he needs some colors. Just to give it some blending. I'm not artsy at all. I'm pretty crafty. I can craft just about anything, but when it comes to being artistic, that is not me. That's why I love the Stampin' Blends, because they make me feel artistic, so I can just kind of blend colors together without even trying. In this case, I'm going to just follow along those lines that Stampin' Up! Has already put on the stamp with my dark color here first. I'm going to fill in the bottom here and kind of do the outline so I don't go outside the lines. A little bit here on my little flower, follow those lines, and then come in with the light. Now, like I said, the bullet tip on this marker, I want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to use the brush tip. And then just fill that in and blend those two inks together so you don't see those heavy lines of the dark. Try to stay in the lines. Like I said, I am not artistic. I am crafty, but I think there's a big difference between being artistic and being crafty. I'm going to make sure there's no white spots on my flower here, and just blend that in a little bit. Same thing with this one. And this one. There we go. So now he's all nicely colored. Wasn't too much torture. But then I'm going to bring in that new beige colored ink. Now I think this is going to be really nice. We did a little bit of the no line watercoloring. If you haven't heard of that, I'll show you in a couple videos, I guess I'm gonna say what that's like. With this beige is really pretty. So it's pretty dark, probably because my ink pad is new. So I'm gonna stamp off, and then I'm gonna just stamp these little speckles. It's in part of the stamp set here too, and just kind of speckle and outline maybe my flowers here. We don't like all, at least I should use I words. I don't like all that dark, that white space around on my cardstock. So this way it takes a little bit of that away. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Let me lift it up, see if that helps. If you can see just that little bit of speckle around the flowers, which I think is really pretty. Okay, so now we're just about done. Let's go ahead and finish up and layer this onto that pretty peacock piece with the itty bitty border, because it's just 1/8 of an inch compared to normally I use 1/4 of an inch, but we want just a little bit of border there. There we go. We're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this just to give it some lift. Whoops. And then we want 1 dimensional on the back of our hello, but just at the bottom. So just, I hope this is the bottom. Let's double check. Yeah, that's the bottom. We're going to take these backings off. Well, maybe we are. I have no nails right now. I blame bowling and lack of care. I just do not take care of my nails. Terrible. I don't let anybody know. I admit that. Don't tell anybody. Okay, then we're going to tuck this under this side of the ribbon here, just about there. Try to get it on there straight. Take that, and we're going to put some tape here, some adhesive at the top of our circle. Take that dimensional backing off and lay that right under that ribbon. Try to get it straight so it looks like that. And isn't that pretty? Let's trim these ribbons tails down. Oh, look at this ribbon tail. You ever have a ribbon tail that flips the wrong way like that? I've discovered if you take your pick tool with your lid, you can slip it under here and flip that ribbon so then it goes the right way. And let's trim that down. I want it a little bit straight on the ends rather than that normal angle. And look how pretty that is. Now, if you notice on my card, the first one, I started using the glitter ribbon, but I ran out of glitter ribbon, so I went to that silver ribbon. Any ribbon right here I think would be really pretty. There's even that peacock gold ribbon in the mini catalog. I think that would be pretty too. But now, before we finish, we need some embellishments on there. Look at this, it just screams the right color codes or the right color combination. These are the adhesive back sequin trios. So I'm going to just take, if I can get them out of there, some of these pink ones and splatter them on there. I think like I did my first one, I'm going to put one here, one up here, and then one down here by my hello. There we go. And then to finish off my card and get ready for my swap, I'm just going to take a Post-it note and I'm going to put sticky side down. Take my little stickers here. I have stickers with my name on it. I use these for my swaps, and then if I use it to put them on my products. If I take my paper trimmer with me, I'll put my name on my paper trimmer and stuff like that. And then I'll just stick it when I find them. I don't see them here in my envelope. Haha, here it is. And then I'm ready for my swap. So there we go. So then when I get my other swap, right, or my swaps tonight, I will share them on a video very soon. So there's all my swaps. Look at all my pretty cards. I'm excited to go. Love that new product. Like I said, if you don't have a demonstrator, send you a catalog. Please let me know, and I'll make sure I get one in the mail to you. Okay, that's what I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here very soon. Take care.